Today I bring to you absolutely chilling two-sentence horror stories. So grab your favorite beverage and snacks, sit back, relax, and let the darkness consume you. Ever since I lost my hearing, I constantly turn on lights so that I'm never in darkness. The dark doesn't scare me, but whatever keeps turning them off behind me does. I frantically ran into Walmart's customer service to pick up my son who got lost in the store. The clerk says, "Nice try, sir. His father already picked him up." The principal of my son's school called me at work today to tell me my son pushed another kid while on a school excursion. I initially thought that this hardly warranted a phone call, until I remembered that my son's excursion was to the Grand Canyon. They say we have a primal sense that we can just feel when someone is watching us. It's been a few weeks, and it's clear that you do not have that sense. "Please take me instead," I screamed, grabbing at the two men who took my child. "Sorry, ma'am, children only," they said, as they continue loading up the last lifeboat on the ship. The number 7 billion, etched into my arm since birth, caused me agonizing burning pain. As I looked down at the innocent little girl I accidentally ran over, I noticed the number had changed by 1, and I knew what I had to do. When the old fortune teller told me that I would die at the stroke of midnight, I was skeptical but decided to stay up anyway. As the left side of my body went completely numb, I realized that the English language was probably not her first language. I decided to kill off a few characters in the book I'm writing. It would definitely spice up my autobiography a little. My wife begged me for forgiveness after she smothered our newborn in her sleep. Thankfully, she doesn't remember me handing her the pillow while she was sleepwalking, or that I know the baby wasn't mine. After her best friend Julia committed suicide, my daughter Sarah started a charity in her honor to combat cyberbullying. While it took a lot of work to finally push Julia over the edge, my husband and I are just so happy that Sarah can add this activity to her college applications. For my last wish, I wish my dad to be alive again. I stood atop his grave and smiled, imagining him screaming and clawing at his coffin lid as he did the 2 previous times I wished him back. My last girlfriend always got creeped out by the 14 weird dolls I kept on display. I have a new girlfriend now, and she wants me to throw out all 15 of the disturbingly lifelike dolls. I grip the diamond ring with my left hand and the grenade's pin with my right. Whatever her answer, we'll be spending the rest of our lives together. When I came home from war, my mother opened the door to me and said, "It's good to see both of you again." Confused, I reminded her that my brother didn't survive, but then I heard his voice saying, "You can see him too?" "Good girl," I murmured to my beloved dog as the first tear slid down my face. I didn't think her little teeth would hurt this bad, but it's been 3 days since I fell, and there's no need for us both to starve. It's been almost a decade since I last saw my mother, and she still reminds me every day that if I misbehave again, she'll take my hearing too. So it turns out you can feel everything that happens to your body after death. I suppose I should be flattered my husband still finds me attractive all these years. As I slit her throat, I looked in her unblinking eyes and realized too late that she wanted to live. I knew it to be true because mirrors don't lie. I framed the first letter I got as a police officer from a woman thanking me after I supported her through her daughter's suicide. I passed it in my hallway every day for nearly 8 years before realizing the handwriting was the same as on the girl's suicide note. "Mommy, look at my shaving cream beard," the little boy proudly stated and showed his mother. "But we don't have any shaving cream," she replied weakly as the family dog started growling. At school, I was called the smelly girl and was severely bullied because of it. But as I look at the decaying bodies of my former classmates, I say to myself, look who smells now. I was so thrilled about my baby bump and feeling its fluttering kicks. Now it's moving up, as though migrating towards my heart, and the kicks feel sharper, more like claws. There are many children who pray to become orphans because of their horrible parents. I answer as many of their prayers as I can. I had this awful nightmare that I was being chased by a man with a goat head. Thankfully, I woke up, but I wasn't as thankful when I saw him at my window. Standing next to my twin's casket, I cried softly into my husband's chest as he held me. He stroked my hair gently and whispered into my ear, "She was practicing for tonight, my love." I can't fathom why this guy would be out at midnight going on a jog of all things. Doesn't he watch the news and know about the kidnapping spree and murders I've committed in the area? "Dad, the man said I had one phone call, and if they picked up, he'd let me live. But I guess you've got no signal. So sorry to do this in a message, but I wanted to say that I love you, and good." My parents asked if my imaginary friend told me to kill everyone, but I assured them he didn't. He only told me to kill them. My daughter smiled at me, and suddenly her dead body didn't look that dead anymore.